Panel of judges, representative of UNICEF, Metro FM, Bond FM, and other media houses present, members of the high table, co-debaters, fellow students, and my ever-attentive audience. I am Yahaya Aliyah, a GS3 student of Bozo Gospel College, Abro, in Yanopaja, Lagos. I'm here to emphatically address the question before me. Should children be allowed to work and earn money? This issue is directed to our fathers and mothers because you are the custodians of children. In the right sense, children should not be allowed to work and earn money because this means child labor, and any form of child labor is prohibited by legislation worldwide. Child labor is a worldwide wrong, and a wrong will not cease to be a wrong because the majority share it. What then is child labor? Child labor refers to the exploitation of children through any form of work that deprives them of their childhood. It interferes with their ability to attend regular school and is physically, socially, morally, or mentally harmful. The consequences are staggering because this can result in extreme bodily and mental harm or even death. It could lead to slavery or sexual molestation, which is a great crime against minors. The International Labour Organization, ILO, says that 43% of Nigerian children are involved in various forms of child labor, despite international conventions banning it. More than 15 million Nigerian children are working, mostly to help pay the cost of going to school, according to a new survey by the Federal Office of Statistics. Many children in this category say that they often skip school because of the demands to work and the need to earn money. This indicates that working children lose valuable school days. However, a child can assist their parents in their business after school. Hence, this assistance should not in any way hamper the child's education. But several children have been sent out to do various jobs, such as street hawking, begging, prostitution, engaging in illicit activities such as drug trafficking, stealing, and armed robbery, etc. This does not only undermine the roots of human nature, it threatens future social and economic progress worldwide. Although the incidence of child labor decreased from 25% to 10%, according to the World Bank, between 1960 and 2003, nevertheless, the total number of child laborers is indeed on the increase, as UNICEF and ILO have estimated that over 168 million children worldwide were involved in child labor in 2013. There are several reasons why children work to earn money, which include poverty, ignorance, illiteracy, lack of proper enforcement of laws against child labor, cultural beliefs, religious practices, and so many others. Despite these reasons why children work to earn money, it does not in any way undermine the effect it has on the child and on the society at large, which include denial of child's right to childhood, denial of child's right to education, exposure of children to various health hazards, and lastly, safety risk and hazards. Working children in Africa appears to be on the increase, but together we can put a stop to it. Education is the bedrock of the society. The child is meant to learn, not to earn. Let us all remember that children should have pens in their hands and not tools. No to child labor. Thank you.
So this is Boso School. That's the chief speaker that just finished.
Standing before you this day on this August occasion is Nwori Deborah, a GSS3 student of Bozo Gospel College, Aboru. It is indeed an undeniable fact that poverty is the major reason for child labor. Parents who cannot provide for the family put the care of their children in the hands of relations. This is prominent with parents in the village. Most times, these relations promise to take good care of these children and even sponsor their education. But however, they end up doing the reverse by turning these children into child laborers, sending them to work throughout the day and even at night to earn money for them. These children are exposed to various kinds of hazards. Their employers usually maltreat them because they are children. And these so-called relations, you treat them at home. They are times beaten, starved, and denied food to eat. Grace Abbott wrote, child labor and poverty are inevitably bound together. So if you continue to use the labor of children as a treatment of social disease of poverty, you will have both child labor and poverty at the end of time. Children are not in any way supposed to be the source of family income. Parents bring children into the world, and so they should be able to cater for their financial, educational, material, health, emotional, and psychological needs, and in any other way the child needs assistance. The popular story of Benkasi should be one that parents should take a gift from. Zoya raised her children as a single mother. She worked extra hours just to ensure that her children goes to school. Please, stop child labor in Africa. Because a child's hands are too small. Thank you.
Boso Gospel College.
Because a child's hands are too small to work and earn money. Children
Round up. Yes, remember I gave you the time, 3 minutes for the main speaker, 1 minute for you to give your adjoining, when you want to also boost your main speaker's talk, 1 minute, not more than 1 minute. Please gather your thoughts while they are at it. The next school is Jola School. Let's have you on stage, please. A round of applause for Jola School.
Upon mention of the world's child labor, many people might envision a harrowing scene straight from a Charles Dickens novel, with malnourished children slaving away on an assembly line, producing goods for cruel predatory adults. But before I marvel you, let me give honor to whom honor is due to by saying, good day, Mr. Chairman, panel of judges, accurate timekeeper, and my co-debaters. My name is Odwek Moyosore, a bona fide student of Jolas College. I am yet strongly and oppose the notion which says, should a child work and earn money? Unfortunately, in Jamaica, poverty and ignorance has driven too many parents to curtail their children's education at an early age, turning them out onto the streets, fields, markets to contribute an income to the family home. We have all seen children in uniform plying their wares, explaining that they needed to collect enough money to go to school the next day. The question about children working for money came to the forefront a few months ago around the television commercial featuring youths, obviously not yet in their teens, singing for a cellular telephone company. Fortunately, a complaint was raised that the advertiser was unethical to use children to promote its product. Eventually, the Ministry of Labour and Employment was reminding people that children at some certain age should not be employed. To know more about the restrictions on child labor and employment, I examined the Child Care and Protection Act 2004. Section 33 states that no person shall employ a child under the age of 13 for the performance of any work. Section 34 outlines the restrictions on child labor and employment, that they shouldn't be involved in any hazardous work, industrial work, or night work. Section 35 indicates that, notwithstanding the provision of Section 33 and 34, the minister responsible for labor may issue a permit to a child to enable that child be employed for the purpose of artistic performance. If anyone goes against this law, he or she will have to pay a fine not exceeding $500,000 or a jail time not exceeding 6 months. Child labor has been the most biggest important concern in the world because it affects the child mentally, physically, emotionally. It also destroys the child's future. As we all know that the Child Labor Act 1986 defines a child as a person who has not completed the age of 14. Everybody knows that a child is considered as a gift of God. It has to be nurtured with care, affection, and love with the family and society. But due to the economic activities, children are forced to work in industries, leather factories, or either work on the streets or be a maid in a rich man's house, which is so wrong. Therefore, should a child still work and earn money? Here are the reasons for my arguments. Children are exposed to accidental and other injuries at work. They are protected social, economic, emotional, and physical harm, which persists to affect them during their lifetime. Such injuries are general child abuse is like cuts, burns, fractures, lacerations, tiredness, dizziness, excessive fears and nightmares. Sexually. With these few points of mine, I hope I've been able to bring you from a mountain of confusion down to the lowest level of understanding. Thank you.
Yes, a round of applause for Jola School. Co-debater, let's have you 1 minute from Jola School.
All particulars duly observed. My name is Adekun Adetun. I'm from Jolas Private School. I'm here to oppose the notion which says, should a child work and earn a living? My answer is no. The question then is, who is a child? A child is a minor-class person who is below the legal age of accountability and responsibility. Eliminating child exploitation involves understanding the origin and nature of the same. Until the end of the 18th century, childhood was acknowledged to a certain extent, depending on the historical context. Child labor did exist. It tended to be limited to the family core as a process of initiation into professional tasks. It would normally be proportional to their condition and was accepted by the family. It will shock you that the number of child labor has increased to 160 million worldwide and 8.4 million in the last 4 years. 97 million boys and 63 million girls were involved in child labor at the beginning of 2020, according to almost 1/10 of all children worldwide. According to UNICEF, child labor is any work undertaken by a child. This is work that requires many hours for which they are too young, compromising their health and well-being, robbing them of their playtime, and depriving them of education. I know my opponents may say that with these points of mine, I hope I've been able to convince you that a child should not work and earn a living. Thank you.